that going.
This appears to be joyful sex. The Aziz Ansari thing, that was on Babe.com.
Right.
The trusted news source of Babe.com, which she wasn't denying, which is why the story didn't go away, was apparently not consensual, but kind of consensual. And here's where I have the fucking problem with that. She described in vivid graphic detail of their fucking one night stand together, which by all accounts, like, you know, they met out, they had some drinks, they texted a few times, chatted over a few days. They ended up, you know, going out, then went back to his place to hook up. And she was like, you know, he put my hand on his penis 5 to 7 times or whatever. And it was just like, you know, after the first time, if that wasn't your jam, could have set up. Great. I'm gonna pack her on up and get on home. Aziz Ansari is probably, I would say in real life, probably 5'6", 5'7" maybe. Mm-hmm. Probably weighs about 145 pounds. Sure. That is not a man who's forcing anyone to do anything at that point. Mm-hmm. And during this sexual encounter that she was just like, I was just so like appalled by everything,
crying the whole way home
and all of that. And she allegedly texted him the next day and said, I was not okay. And I was uncomfortable with what went on or whatever. To which he apologized for and said, he
said, I totally misread the situation and I'm sorry.
Yeah. In a text message.
That's not, I'm sorry for raping you. I'm sorry for da-da-da. It's like, he didn't get anywhere. Like, they didn't have sex.
No.
He didn't get a blowjob.
Nope.
I think he might have gotten a blowjob.
Huh.
But, yeah, so it wasn't anything like that. It was like a sexual encounter. One horny little douchey douche. I mean, he's a little douche.
Yeah.
A little horny fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And kept trying. And she kept sticking around. Like, she'd be like, no, oh my God, let's just watch a movie.
Yeah.
Okay, well, he's going to think like, okay, let's just cool it down, like sit, watch a movie, and then like start fooling around again. So at the point that you don't want to do it, you got to go. Because you can't like stick around and like sit next to him on the couch and watch a movie.
Yeah.
And, you know, just go. And maybe he's drunk or whatever it is. But if you're able to go, then go. Yeah. If you're not, that's an issue. If you're being held, if you're being kept, you know, against your will, if he's locking the door, if he's like not giving you a ride or whatever it may be, like, then that's shitty. But you were able to leave. Yeah. Call a car. He actually called one for her.
Exactly. He not only did he call her a car, but again, he is not
it was
physically...
a douchey encounter. Like it, and the thing is, like, we've all had them. It's a douchey encounter of like, okay, this guy tried really hard to try and get sex, and he didn't get it. Right. And it happens all the time. I'm sorry, Grace. They were calling her Grace, but I'm sorry, Grace. You had a date with Aziz Ansari, and it didn't go so well. But what the fuck is this?
Yeah. And it's not like Aziz is some poon hound who's out, you know, banging ass every day of the week and has been his entire life. Like, no, he's a guy, truthfully, in my experience of being around him, who is kind of uncomfortable with being a celebrity, has never had girls, it appeared, before, because I knew him before he got famous, like super famous. Right. He was never, like, no girls were ever talking to him at the parties we were going to, and at the events, like oh my God, there wasn't supermodels throwing themselves at him. So now you're thrust in the spotlight. He's probably trying to figure out dating. And you have this awkward sexual encounter because, you know, he's a little bit awkward. Yeah. And the encounter that this woman described happens every fucking day in America. You know what the first I've had 1,000 friends. I bet you've had experiences where you've gone on dates with people where shit has gotten awkward like that. And you probably left. You're probably like, I'm out of here. Yeah. Yeah. I remember one of the very first nights after we had met, and I was in New York, and you called me, and you were at a party with some friends, and some guy had asked you to stay and be part of a threesome. And you were like, oh, okay, I'm out of here. And I was on the phone with you, and I could hear him say it in the background. Yeah. And you were literally like, oh, okay, I'm out of here. And you were like, hey, can you stay on the phone with me while I just get the fuck out of here? And I was like, yeah, no problem. And I was like, does this happen to you all the time? And you were like, yeah, this type of shit happens all the fucking time to girls.
Did I say that?
Yeah. And you said, look, this happens all the fucking time to girls. And you were like, but you just leave. You were like, I'm leaving now. Look, I'm on the phone with you. I tell you what, I'm going to walk out. You weren't far from where this party was. A few blocks.
Living?
Living. Yeah. I stayed on the phone with you till you walked home. I believe you got a pack of smokes on the way home because you used to smoke cigarettes back in the day.
I used to be a little cool gal.
Yeah, but you handled the situation. The girl that you were with stayed. Fucking happens all the time. Like,
it's fine.
So if you're
and the days of like these days too with Uber and all this shit,
everything.
Like you can get out of the situation again unless if he's holding the door, if he's being super forceful, if you can't get up, like that kind of stuff is when it's scary. That kind of stuff is when you write a fucking article. This douchery that happens all the time, and I guess that's the point, is they're trying to be like, this can't happen. Sorry, this is going to happen. The other thing I was thinking is, I've heard this is Leonardo DiCaprio's kind of MO too, but he's Leonardo DiCaprio, and nobody's pushing him away. What's his MO? His MO is just this very like, which kind of Aziz did, which was like they go to a dinner, kind of he rushes her through, get home to just have sex, basically.
That's every guy on the planet,
right? Well,
no guy wants to sit through fucking dinner.
But he left like she had like a full glass of wine, she had food, like. It was a rush job that, like, I don't think you or, like, a lot of guys would do, but some douches for sure do it.
Yeah, but
it's not an every guy thing, but it was like, okay, that's what happened. And then, so Leonardo DiCaprio is this, he's been known to just be this, like that, just like, hey.
Yeah.
And you do it. Or just during sex, like, on the phone, I forget, he's, like, on the phone, or he's just, like, so... Like,
I can tell you this for dude, DiCaprio's the ultimate stick man, obviously,
for sure. And like
for years and years and years, he's had women throw themselves at him, and I have personally seen it to the point where I'm like, oh my god, when he opens up the weather app on his phone, it is raining pussy every fucking day for that guy. There is not a day where he's got just sunshine. And it's,
you wouldn't cry about it, but you would be like, oh, that was uncomfortable, but I slept with Leonardo DiCaprio.
But most girls want that story of I fucked DiCaprio for their girlfriends.
Is not that story, but he is acting like he is. And so that's the difference. And it's the old joke of like if Clarence Thomas was fucking good looking.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just a thing of like, it's okay for certain people, or you have these douchey encounters. Because she would be into it.
The prime example of this is Rob Lowe. Rob Lowe had sex, admittedly, with a 16-year-old.
Right.
Nobody's rehashing that story because it's fucking Rob Lowe, and the girl was just like, yeah, it's Rob Lowe. Like, I fucked Rob Lowe.
Yeah.
Nobody's saying anything fucking negative about Rob Lowe. I think, going after somebody like Aziz Ansari, the comments I've read online are just like, oh, I knew it. Just looking at him, he looks like a little weasel and all this other shit. And it's just like...
he is, but it's not a sexual predator.
No.
He's a weasel. He's a douche. He's like,
Harvey Weinstein was overpowering people too. And it's just like, that's physically intimidating.
He had power over them too. Like, Aziz didn't have any power over this girl. She didn't work for him. She didn't want a job on the show. Nothing. It was just like a date that didn't work out for either one of them.
Right.